both. Let's see. Oh, good gracious. We're actually live on Facebook. Yay. And let me just see about, oh no, that's YouTube. Hold on. Let me see about Facebook. Let me see. Sorry guys, I am trying to do both streams. Let's see. It looks like Facebook is gonna work. Looks like it wants to. Hey Stevie, how you doing? YouTube, yes. Facebook is always giving me a hard time. Hi Diane. Oh, you're on the treadmill? Oh my gosh. Good for you. Do a few steps for me, would you? I am just trying to figure out how to get on Facebook because it says that I'm streaming and I'm just not seeing it. But that could also just be me. I have been working at this for like weeks. I just have to figure it out. What is it, Bernadette? What is it? Poor doggy. Let me try this a different way. Well, Diane, I don't know if this is going to make your half hour, your treadmill time fly by. Although I may be working up a sweat very soon. What I want us to do is to do this big tobacco basket, and I'm super excited about it. But I'm only excited if I can actually get this to work. Let's see. Of course, my hope is the more I practice, the better this will get. I think it has to, right? All right, let's see. Save there. And six minutes of not knowing what I'm doing. This is wonderful. Well, when we do get things working, we are going to be designing this big tobacco basket. And I'm super excited because I did like a big bow. I concocted all sorts of craziness to get this all set up. Streams. See if either of these work. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, there's a bunch of you. Hey Helen. Alley-oop. Hey, how are you? Catherine. Hey Connie. You're in Maine. I'm in New Hampshire, not too far. And I am a Maine girl versus the Cape. I can't deal with the traffic for the Cape. Diane, you have a lot of faith in me. I don't know. Verlene, nice to see you. I'm just trying to stream on Facebook too because I'm supposed to be doing this weekly and it has just been a struggle. Hey, Melissa, we're actually going to be designing with your materials. My goal was to have us do Facebook and YouTube, but it's maybe not going to pan out, so we might just move along. I told you, you're probably going to learn how to do this well before me, even though I've been working on this for weeks. Let's see. Try one more thing. Dun, dun, dun. Stream. I promise you, I'm about to throw in the towel, and we'll just get going. Oh my gosh, I'm on my personal page. That's not what I want. Well, I hope everyone's enjoying that. Hey, friends and family. Okay, that was the problem. Disable channel, confirm. I want to here. You just want to make wreaths, but you got to learn technology. It is no fun. It's like when you first start with, I mean, anything really, whether it's Etsy or Instagram, like any of those things, it is just some work. All right, let's try doing it in the group. Melissa, we were designing with your ribbons. I did a video earlier that I will be posting as well. All right, it says it's streaming. I feel like this is like a train wreck that you can't look away from. Like, I feel like I would totally just be sitting here as well. I'm live somewhere. Yay, okay. All right, guys, we have it together now. I am on both YouTube and Facebook. That was the goal. Sorry to put you all through that. I told you, Diana, I'd be sweating way more than you. Okay, guys. I was going to say happy Friday, but it's not. It's Wednesday. I wish it was Friday. So we are going to be designing this big tobacco basket. And when we talk about being crafty and all the rando things we do, this is such a great example because I took the foam blocks, I covered them in burlap, and then I used floral pins to secure it. And then I put a bunch of moss in it. I'm not exactly sure where that method came from, but that is what we're working with. And I want this to be an over-the-top basket. So we are going to be using this bow, so this beautiful floral print ribbon is from TCT Crafts. And also this Ferris silk, which Melissa, you spoil me, is also from TCT Crafts. Okay, so it's going to pair perfectly with this beautiful set of peonies, also from TCT Crafts. So if you are looking to get some very high quality materials and you see something you like, you can use promo code KARA15 and save 15%. And Melissa just got in a bunch of things for the holidays. I know, like, it's been a stress on what was actually going to go through with tariffs and, you know, all these shipments not coming through. So Melissa's got the goods. I repeat, Melissa's got the goods. Okay, here we go. Let's just, all right, let's see. Oh my gosh, Melissa, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Hey, Kristen, nice to see you. I love seeing my friends' names pop up. So we're working with the tobacco basket today. I was gonna give this away, and I was like, you know what? It seems kind of like a fun challenge because it is so big. And then we got some beautiful poppies in from TCT Crafts. So like, look at these. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So we're going to start with just adding some greenery. I know I have a lot of people that are hating on ficus. I get it. It's not the most fancy. It's cheap, but that's what I love about it, is that it's inexpensive. It's a great backdrop. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using it here to make sure we're adding some weight to our basket. We want this to go on somebody's front door, and we want to make sure that it's not tipping forward. Okay, right now it has this little loop on it. I'm not so sure that's how it's going to hang, but we shall see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start putting in a layer of ficus towards the very back of the block. And this, again, is going to be a way to have the weight go backwards versus, you know, the basket flopping forward. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful, Jean. So beautiful. All right, so I'm just going to throw a bunch of this in. It's really not going to be all that visible. So I'm just going to put the taller pieces in the middle. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to cover. Do I want it all in the basket? No, it can go outside the basket. So you can see I'm putting it like towards the very back of the block. All right, I'm going to throw a bunch of this in here. And oh my gosh, for anybody who was weighing in on the antiques, I went to that antique mall yesterday, and I saw so many things that were that Fenton glass. And I almost bought like a whole, like I started to like get this idea about collecting it. And I was like, I should probably like have a place to store it, have a plan. They actually have a lot of it. They had a lot of like white milk glass, but then they had some pretty cranberry milk glass. And then they had one thing that was like that electric blue glass, like what I already purchased. So if I do design in that, I am going to be very careful because it is, I didn't realize how special it was. I just have such an eye for art, apparently. Hey, Jackie. Thanks for joining. You were spared the process of me getting here. But I am here. Kristen, let's see if I can do it on Friday. That is the goal. I feel like every week I torture the group. They wonder where I am. I'm popping up in different places. All right. So I am going to end up listing the SKUs for this. Okay, but these items, this is all from TCT Crafts. And you can just see how Melissa has just a phenomenal eye for design. You know, if you're not already following her, you definitely should be. She's on YouTube. She has a membership group. She's just phenomenal. She is just a high-class dame that likes the finer things. And so if you are looking for, again, some of those high-quality items, you can get them with TCT Crafts, and you can save 15% with your girl Cara with Cara 20. So the orange... Okay, I do have my, they're like thistles, but I think there was something else. They are orange globosa sprays. Okay, so stuff I've not heard of, but it is super pretty. But it is like a thistle. It's very electric, which I think is so cool. So it's got, you know, that bright orangey red, and then it's got the, you know, pops of yellow. So this is going to be something that is going to hang on someone's door. And I just, as somebody who judges doors, I feel like it's just going to, you know, you're going to be turning heads. Got to be sure you keep your eyes on the road kind of thing. I hope it's much better. We will see. Kristen, I try. I mean, I don't know what it looks like on your end, but I swear I'm trying. All right, so this greenery is a pusher, which, you know, we love our pushers. And this is philodendron, okay? And these are nice and glossy leaves. And so if you have worked in a florist or even just looking at some arrangements that maybe you've received, often the greenery does have that waxy look, and it's a sprayed on, you know, it's a sprayed on gloss, okay? So I think what I'm going to do is instead of gluing as I go, because I know I'm going to burn my feet and I have flip-flops on, I'm just going to put it in and then I'm going to glue afterwards. And that way we kind of can like share an angle and also not watch me cry because I burn my feet. All right. Oh my gosh, they're so happy. Jean is saying that these colors just like make her happy. Some things just have that impact. I mean, we talk about the power of flowers. You know, it's not just limited to real ones because the sight alone, you know, like there's several senses that get triggered when we see things, you know, that make us happy, that make us produce like oxytocin, dopamine, things like that. So one of them is sight. So artificial florals, when they look real or they look appealing to someone, it's going to have that same impact. The only thing we're really missing or falling short on is the olfactory. Like, you know, it doesn't have the fragrance, but, you know, not everyone loves like the fragrance. Like if somebody is a birthday or sympathy arrangements and they have a lot of things coming in at once and there's a bunch of clashing like fragrance smells from florals, that doesn't always go over well. So we lose in the smell department for flowers, and we do gain, though, the fact that our stuff is permanent botanicals, which means that someone is going to be able to look at this piece for years and years to come and get that emotional attachment. Whereas as beautiful as live florals are, you know, it is temporary. So this is lasting. Right now, I'm working with somebody who is doing the centerpieces for one of her children's weddings. I'm sorry, for the rehearsal dinner. And it was like very important that she and her daughter do them themselves. And what I love is, you know, they can keep one, their child can keep one for their new home. Guests can take them, and it's always going to remind you of like a really special time. I had someone use artificial florals for her wedding centerpieces years ago. She had her bridal party come and like we did a workshop at her house. And yeah, make your bridal party work. And it doesn't cost them anything. Weddings are so expensive. So if you can find something fun to do with your wedding party that also serves a purpose, I would definitely recommend, you know, something like that, like trying to find a workshop or, you know, create your own workshop using YouTube videos, things like that. All right, so we're going to start in with, I know normally I like to start in with our bigger florals. You know what, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to be consistent, all right, because I want to make sure these guys don't get smushed. As graceful as I can, Kristen. As graceful as I can. All right, and then let me see. I honestly should not touch anything. I'm like playing with fire right now. Let's see. All right, on Facebook. Hey, Tiffany. I am trying to like use both platforms at once, and it has been a bit of work. So hello, my friend. Always nice to see your name pop up. All right, so I'm going to put this a little bit off to the side, put in the middle, and I'm going to give this head a bend. Okay, so when we're looking at real florals, you know, they don't just grow straight up and down for the most part. Their heads typically go towards the sun. And so it's a nice little, you know, detail that you can add to your artificial florals to give it that natural look, is just to give them a little bend. If you do that, I would recommend always going down the stem, like maybe an inch. If you do it too close to where all the mechanics are that are holding it together, you could jeopardize, you know, it maybe coming undone. So I just do it a little bit further down. All right, we're already electric. Okay. Now we're going to go in with our smaller peonies, but they're really not that small. We have so many goodies. So this is a great variety. We have our pale yellows, we have some white, and then we also, again, we have this really vibrant orange with the yellow in the center. And so I'm going to just break these down a bit. When it comes to your materials, you know, we're in control of how they're used. So if we need to manipulate them or discard pieces or whatever we need to do to make it work for us, we need to do that. So it's okay if we cut something too short, like say this little guy is going to be too short for what we're doing. It's got a quick fix. It does, I swear. Let me find my floral wire. So say you cut a stem too short. You can just take some floral wire, okay, and you can just take your stem, line it up against your floral pick, and then you're just going to take your wire and you're just going to wrap this around nice and tight. Oh, I don't know. It is Poppy. Good Lord knows what I said. Sometimes I just ran it. Sometimes / always. Okay, so we put on our wire, and you could either add, you know, a touch of glue from your glue gun. You can also use floral tape. So there's waterproof floral tape, and then this is it's the tacky one. There's no adhesive on it, and so what it does is it really is applied by pressure. So what I'm doing is, like, as I'm spinning this, I'm really pulling on it so that it's really gripping on to both the stem and the wire and the floral pick. Okay, so this is how we would fix something if it's too short. So we don't need to worry about things like that. When we're designing, we want the process to be fun, and if we're so stressed about breaking things and all that stuff, or, you know, not following floral design rules, I think it sucks the joy out of it a bit. What is the saying? Like, perfection is the theft of joy or something. You know, you want to just design the way you want to design and enjoy it. So that is why we're in it, right? That's why I'm in it for sure. All right, so keep some of these together based on their colors. Such a gorgeous gift. It is so gorgeous. Oh, Fawn Haven Farm. Oh my gosh. You should see all the beautiful animals she has. Oh, I love it. I want to visit you, and I want to pet the deer and all the other animals. I was watching something the other day where it had like all the crazy things that like dogs brought home. And there were some that brought home like a fawn. There was one that brought home a baby bear. It was just hysterical. The world is a much better place with dogs. I will say that with confidence. Even though mine drive me nuts, I love them. Really, they do drive me nuts. All right. So, let's see. I'm going to try and make this so I have a decent view and you have a decent view. So, like I said before, we have this ginormous bow. It's going to end up going most likely, you know, I think it's going to go in the middle. So we don't want to take up, I'm trying to think of like space-wise. Okay, because we have this on a pick, so it can actually just get inserted from the front, or we can put it through to the top. But I'm going to just kind of keep more of our florals based up top, just so they're not going to just get covered up by our bow. All right. So I'm going to go in with some of my taller ones first. And again, we want to make sure that we have some that are towards the back because we want that weight to go backwards so that it's lined up against our door. Especially if you're working with a smaller basket, it is easy to kind of forget and put everything like kind of jumping out because that looks pretty. But we also need to just think about the function factor. So let me just pull this down for a sec. And so I'm going to try and just do a little bit of repetition here. I'm probably going to have to zhuzh this when I'm head on. I know when I do my videos, sometimes there's changes after the fact. Like for our members, I did a video with a willow wreath, which I got a bunch of willow wreaths. They're so pretty. I forgot how pretty they are. And when I looked at the photo, I was like, oh, something's missing. And so I went and tweaked it. There's a lot if you're, you know, somebody who lists things that you don't quite catch until you're taking photos. And I know that there's a science behind it. It has like mirrors and I don't know. I'm not in it for the science factor, but you know, also if you feel like you have a design that's just off, sometimes it's nice to either one, walk away if you need a break from it, and then also just to take a photo of it. Because sometimes it's amazing like how quick you pick up on something when you have a little bit of that space, and photographs are a great way to do it. You might notice it like immediately, or even just having some time to process what you're looking at. So I am loving these poppies, and there's so much to go with them. So much. Again, this is a TCT Crafts. Some gorgeous florals for us. And I know that they are also working on their fall and Christmas inventory. They're at a bit of a, not them, but manufacturers are at a bit of a standstill, and now things are moving. So that is great news for all of us. It's the first time I felt like hoarding was like a savings plan. I was like, I'm so glad I have so much on hand, because if you did need to take a little bit of a break, but now it seems like we don't need to. We're in good shape. Turn this my way real quick. Get some balance going here. Some of our larger florals. And Melissa, are these still available in your shop? If you are on, let us know. Last time I waited too long, and by the time I did the 4th of July design, they were like these phenomenal peonies, and they were gone, and I was like, that was totally my bad. All right, so you can see I'm just filling these out. We have so many different textures here to work with. Thank you, Melissa. Hard not to be pretty when you have materials like this, honestly. Bernie is somehow tired from watching me work today. Grumbling. She and Steve love to sleep on. There's like a day bed kind of off to the side. There's dog beds everywhere, but of course they want to sleep on furniture. All right. So now we're going to go in with these sprays. Sprays are a great way if you are newer or you question how you select greenery. You know, there's two families. There is our blue base family, which is more our eucalyptus like this. Also lamb's ear. There's more. And then there's several obviously different stages of eucalyptus. And then there's more the green base or the yellow base, which is that vibrant green. So, you know, you can say the two families, like they don't get along, but honestly, there's a lot of cases where they do. And so when you have a spray like this, and Melissa, actually, I was using the cottonwood earlier, which is also a perfect example, it was yellow base in the back and then it was frosted in the front. So when you have something like this, it's already kind of paired everything for you. Okay, and so this is one where you can kind of mix both in. And so when you get a pick or a spray like this, the second one, right under my nose. When you get a spray like this, you want to definitely just get the most out of it. So you want to really like fluff this up. Oh, I know. The seasons go by so fast. Diane's saying that she often makes adjustments after photos. I mean, it's like if you do all that work, you know, unless you get so far in that you've already listed it on Etsy before you catch something. If you got that far, I'd probably say let it fly. But if you haven't listed it yet and you really have invested, you know, a good amount of time and materials, yeah, you want to just make some tweaks, move things around, and then get photos of it when it's the way you want it to be. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to leave this whole thing intact, and I'm going to put one on this side. Okay, and I'm going to move all of these pieces around so that we're not blocking the florals, but that we're also getting all of this texture. Okay, because these can all be woven in between our florals. And then I'm going to repeat that on this side. Definitely don't want to be blocking this giant peony head. I mean, oh, that's what I said before, isn't it? Poppy head. I'm sorry. Wrong floral that starts with the letter P. Thank you for catching that, because otherwise I don't know when I would have caught it. But I was saying the wrong word. So. Diane, is your time on the treadmill going by faster now that we're moving? I need you to do a mile or two for me, please. If you don't mind. Okay. Just giving things a little bit of a bend so that they're more orderly. All right. Yep, and Melissa's saying they do still have some in stock. All right. You love poppies. They are one of my best friend's favorite florals. And I know they also are very symbolic for Memorial Day. I wish I had a bit of the history on that, but I do know that that is like the floral for it. So when we have, you know, two stems of something, I like to just have them separated so that we have the similar things. So that was a great explanation. Great explanation, Cara. No, but for this bush or spray, it came with one really big one in the middle. It has this one, and then it has this little guy. So I want to just pair these together. So I'm taking from the two bushes, and I'm going to be arranging them so that they are balanced. Oh, Diane's saying because you designed flat. So for the willow wreath I tried so hard to design flat, but I was trying to like also have it be something that you could see on camera. And I'm telling you, there's like 3 different versions of it. It's like it's flat, then I put it on this thing, and then I ended up putting it back on the wreath easel because it's just the easiest way to see things. Because you want to see it as it's going to look on someone's door. But, I mean, I got my easels. I got 3 of them from HomeSense. And they were, like, in the art section. It was very, very random. And they were on clearance because nobody's really looking for wreath easels or, you know, art easels in HomeSense. So it was definitely a fluke. But, actually, I saw one at the Antique Mall. If anybody is in the Northeast and needs one, there was one at the Antique Mall in Lawrence. I'm pretty sure I took a picture. It also has a hall of doors. I have to post all this stuff. I took all this video, so I look like a crazy person out in public. But they have this hall of doors, and it's just a, you know, for all of us who want like an extra place to be able to photograph, they definitely have something for everybody. Such a cool place. Diane is all done her workout. You go, Diane. Good for you. Let me put some off to the side. This girl is huge, and I am not mad about it at all. So glad I didn't get rid of this basket. You know, like you go to give things away and all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, maybe I'm going to wear it. Maybe I'm going to use it. And I was like, no, I am going to use this thing. I haven't done a tobacco basket in a million years. So I was excited for it. Yeah, has anybody found an easel somewhere, like random? Because I feel like flea markets maybe would have them. Etsy does have some. They're a bit on the pricey side. Like mine were all, I think, under $15. So I'm just naturally going to be super cheap about it. I have a friend who's an engineer, and you know my code is be nice to nerds, because they will be your boss someday. They will also soup up your wreath easels for you. So my friend Brian has done so much with my easels so that I can transport them to do in-person workshops. He also helped me set up a system for storing my wreaths. So in the overflow room, which is basically where the mess is in my house, we put up like a steel grids across, you know, most of the room. And so now they just hang up there. They're all bagged up. You know, they're all tied off, so they're safe from, you know, dust, if moisture should get in there, you know, anything. They're nice and protected, and then they're also not taking up space. So be nice to nerds. Our girl Marion's husband is an engineer, and he has designed several wreath making tools. So there is one for bow making that folds up nice and flat, so it's super convenient. And then there is also the ribbon wrangler, which is just a great way to keep your ribbons organized as you're working. Anytime I touch this computer, I just feel like I'm begging for trouble. Hey, Amy, how are you? Hi, Ellen. Amber, nice to see you guys. Hi, Sherry. I'm so sorry. I was focusing on one stream. I have to figure out, I think there's a way to have this all go into the same area. But are you guys loving the poppies and these colors? Because they are quite a cheerful combo. All right, so now we're going in. These look like Billy buttons, but let me see. I think it is a, nope. Okay, it's allium. Okay. Yes, my girlfriend and I recently went to a floral design class, and they were called Billy Balls, and we just could not handle it. I'm going to say she couldn't handle it, but, you know, after she kept laughing, then it became funny to me too. So, you know, when you're out with your friends from high school and you are literally just as immature as you were back then, that was basically what we were doing with our Billy Balls. All right, so I have broken this up into 3 groups. Oh, you took your grandbaby swimming? Yeah, I mean, we have to make time. You know, that's, again, why we got into this, is if, you know, you're somebody like myself who left your 9 to 5, you know, it is a joke, you left your 9 to 5 to work 24/7, and if you're not careful, I mean, I have weeks where I feel like I don't really get a break, but that's on us to have boundaries, to adhere to schedules. I know Amy has a work blocking schedule, Like Amy's very organized, so she knows what her days are going to look like, and she manages her time that way, which I think is very, very smart. I need to take a page out of Amy's book. Amen, sister. You can't shut it off. I know. Part of it is because we love what we do. Like sometimes if my work day is over, I might decompress by like still just staying down here and doing a floral arrangement. Just because it's nice and relaxing, and you can listen to classical music without worrying about, you know, YouTube taking the copyrights of it. Just relaxing. I don't know about you guys, but nobody, like I didn't learn wreath making from like a family member. I don't know where the passion came from, but that's when I think, you know, we're all given certain gifts, and that's just a reinforcement of a gift that you're meant to have and that you're meant to share with the world. So if you're somebody who's being shy about sharing your work, you know, but you have friends and family who say like you should be going for it, you should be getting on Etsy, you should be selling, you know, your friends, unless they're totally diabolical, they're not setting you up for failure. That is a sign that you should be taking your gift and doing something with it. You know, it's great to give them out to get, you know, friends and family. That's how a lot of people start. It's a hobby. But if you can actually have it be a side hustle, or even better, your full-time job, then why sleep on it, right? Sherry has worked with the blue. They were blue. They were blue. So these are allium. Decorating definitely brings me joy, and I love changing things around my home. When I was little, I loved rearranging furniture in my room. You know, I would like stay up late. It's amazing, like when you want to be, when you like really are determined you want to be strong. Like the strongest women I see are women leaving Home Goods with like furniture strapped on their back. Like they're like, no, this is coming home with me. But if they were home, they'd be like, oh, could you help me? I'm the same way. So when I was little, it was like being an ant. Like I was moving furniture that weighed more than I did. I'd just be like pushing it a little at a time just to change things up. And that brought me a lot of joy. And I always loved, you know, again, just having it like have a different feel. And so when it comes to designing, I really enjoy all the different things that we get to celebrate throughout the year, and our home not feeling like stale. And I think too, like when you have kids, you know, my daughter's grown, but like grown, you know, even for your family in general, it's so fun to like have everyone experience like the shift in the weather, the holidays, all that stuff. Like I definitely have a lot of memories tied to how my mom would decorate when I was a kid. You know, we had like the fun Christmas tree in like the den, and then we had the Christmas tree that you can't touch because it's in the fancy living room. It is an adult tree, and you better not go near it. So I remember that as well. But basically, our entire downstairs had Christmas in it one place or another. And so when I had a chance to do it in my own home, I kind of went with the pencil trees. This is chock full of goodness. And the bow's not even on it yet. So what I might do is I might end up, I'm just too tempted to have things like jetting out like this. So I might end up having the bow go through the front of the block. So to prep this, I did some type of MacGyver stuff. So there's a total of 4.5 of the dry foam blocks in here. And then I covered them in burlap, which I'm not really sure that was like the smartest move, but in my mind, I was thinking I wanted to cover it all up, and I don't want to completely fill this base with Spanish moss because it's just gonna, eat it all up. So I put burlap on them just to cover up that, artificial green material. And then I put a little bit of glue on them, but for the most part, they're being secured with the floral pins or U-pins. Oh, you are a beauty. I mean, if this doesn't turn heads, then you're in a grouchy neighborhood. All I can say. All right, and then this last spray, these are the Mums. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa does such beautiful work, and I love the variety of things that you do too. So, and also if you are in my membership group, we get a treat of some of Melissa's tutorials, which I always appreciate because, again, she just has such a wide variety of things that she makes. So it's nice to have someone who is doing something different because I get to learn, everyone gets to learn. So this has a little bit of baby's breath on it. It has like a seed, eucalyptus. It has all sorts of different textures. So I always feel like these are money savers because you don't have to go out and like source all of these things yourself or spend time trying to figure out what goes with what. The work has already been done for you. So you can even take something like this and then just build around it, or you can take a ribbon and build around it. Like whatever it is that really draws you the most, I would say that is the direction that you're going to want to go in. Hey, Rhonda. Oh, thank you very much. I know this thing is larger than life over here, which, as you know, minimalism is just not in my vocabulary, nor is demure. It's like, what's all this demure talk? It must be something fun. And then I was like, no, it's not. It's not fun at all. Not for me anyways. It's not fun. Out of the way. And it's so funny because I pulled extra things and literally there's zero need. Everything is in this one amazing set. So I'm not going to waste a thing. So even like some of these little greeneries, like single strands of them, have these kind of coming out. Honestly, the hardest part of this was getting the video going. And it was also the longest part, I think, because the rest of this is just like going by so quickly. But when you are flustered with technology, good Lord, does time go by very, very slow. Very, very slow. All right, let me just pull this off one more time. Yeah, I might end up just adjusting some of this. I didn't glue as we were making this just because I wanted to try and give a better angle. Because I could just go in with a glue gun afterwards and just secure everything to the block. So I'm going to use a little bit of this Phalaenopsis to just kind of separate our florals You know, we want to have in our minds when we're looking at designs that are natural, they should be airy enough so that a butterfly can fly through them. For me, that butterfly better be very tiny because I definitely struggle because I like to put so many things in. But if there's an area where I feel like too many florals are getting crowded, I like to put something in that I consider a disruptor, just something to separate it, whether it's separating the color, the texture, any of that. So I'm going to use the Phalaenopsis just to kind of separate these poppies a little bit. And then also over here, because we have a lot of blooms in one area. I just want to break that up. All right, so what do we think, guys? This, let me see. I don't know if I can tell what time it is, but okay, so it's a little under an hour, but literally like the first 12 minutes were computer tech issues. Let's see. Michelle from Fawn Haven Farm. Is Michelle right? Because I can sometimes bad with names. Oh, you love the grandeur. Ooh, I love that word. Perfectly gorgeous. The basket complements it, and the bow might be too much. We will see. Yep, Melissa's also a more is more girl. And alley-oop, I make myself laugh. I get myself in a lot of trouble with it, so hopefully you're entertained. It's like when you're at a family event and you are cracking up and then you look and like you're getting a side eye from your mom because you definitely said something you shouldn't have, even though you're grown adults. Okay, so this is the bow. And maybe what we'll do is we'll end up taking a photo of it with and without. So I made the tails super long. I wanted this to kind of take up most of the space of the door. I don't know what it is. It's not necessarily how I usually design, but something just kind of got in my head and I wanted to exercise a little bit of that creativity. So I can always change things. You know, again, the bow does not have to go in. If the bow is too much, I can always just sell it separate, use it on something else. Thank you, Kristen. All right, so let me just see. So we have, okay. You guys can give me a little bit of input right now. So we have no bow, okay. And then I was thinking with the bow, which I'm sure she's gonna need to be fluffed a bit, but with the bow, I was thinking it would just go right in here. This is why I'm not sure the burlap was a great idea, because I would normally just be able to go in right through the foam. But I have created a barrier for myself. Let's see. Lay her down one sec. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like it. Yeah, this is going to be one of those one-of-a-kind things. You know, when I talk about big box stores and their soulless floral designs, you're not going to find this there. Sorry, Martha. You could put your name on something, but it doesn't match having something that is handmade and made with thought and care, and wanting somebody to have that one-of-a-kind piece that makes their door feel special and it welcomes their guests. And actually, guys, I bought a few really, well, not really. I mean, they're ugly. Yeah. I bought a few manufactured wreaths, so I'm going to do some examples of how to take, you know, what the difference is between a manufactured wreath and a handcrafted wreath, because the difference is quite big. And as far as something lasting or not lasting, a manufactured wreath does not hold a candle to something handmade, properly glued, you know, all the mechanics, all the tricks that we have. Okay, so at first glance, and I'll end up posting this, so if you're watching on replay, or if you just aren't sure and you want to answer later, let me know if we're going to go bow or no bow. What do you guys think offhand? Is the bow detracting? Because if the bow is detracting from all of this, then I would definitely say, like, keep it neutral and natural. The other thing that we can do too is we can list it 2 ways, because this might appeal to a certain type of buyer, and then for somebody else, they might just prefer, you know, having just the natural florals on it. So you guys weigh in and let me know what you think. All right, let's see. No bow, okay. Let's see. Thank you. Alley Oop, is your name Allie? Or you don't have to tell me, but yes, and then a nice simple bow would also work. Like if you took 4-inch burlap and you just had like a floppy bow, like sometimes, I don't know why I think it's French, I just do. Just having something that's a little bit off to the side. This probably would do a lot better with something that, you know, the bow would be the star. And I think with this piece, the flowers are like so hard to ignore. They're so beautiful. Yeah, okay, so I think, all right, Michelle likes it both ways. Having the option is always great, right? I agree with that, Melissa. No bow, says Amber. No bow, yep. Amy, thank you. Maureen says it's pretty and bright. Sherry says it's gorgeous. I agree with you guys. I think I'm probably going to keep the bow off, but you know what? It never hurts to have 2 listings on Etsy or in your, you know, in your online store instead of 1. So I'm probably going to post it both ways, and then also find a different way to repurpose this bow, or even just sell it as is, because she's so pretty. Again, so this ribbon and this Farasilk ribbon, these are from TCT Crafts. All of our florals that we use, the only thing that wasn't used from TCT Crafts is the ficus, which a lot of people hate anyways, so it's probably best, Melissa. But if you are interested in shopping at TCT Crafts, you can use promo code KARA15 and save 15%. And I'm also going to put it in the comments, the materials that we have, the SKU numbers, in case you're looking for some of these materials specifically. And if you guys enjoyed our time together, because we do go live usually at least once a week, sometimes more. We're going to be going live tomorrow night, I believe. Tomorrow night's the 5th. We have something planned for that. So if you do enjoy this, please like, subscribe, and share. Help your girl out. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. So thank you so much for keeping me company. Melissa, TCT Crafts, thank you so much. This was such a treat. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And I will be on YouTube. And maybe I'll just, you know, play with fire and try and stream on both again tomorrow night. We'll see. So, all right, guys, I will see you later. Bye.